What's up, y'all?
What's up, man?
How are you?
Oh man, respect. This is because I can't whistle. I can't whistle.
Spectacular.
Who whistled the best? Good.
I am frustrated and excited, so this is a good thing. So we don't have guests tonight, so we're going to use tonight. I'm excited about that. We are very, very, very close to a lot of things, but I want to start with something I'm incredibly excited about, and I know Mr. Camacho has to leave, so I want to make sure I do that. I'll do this at the end, but I want to do this at the beginning. We have, you guys know when someone finishes their hours, right, they get the little mouse pad, and when they finish, when they get licensed, they get their player shirt, and at any point when somebody picks up $150,000 in assets, technically, if they get their securities licenses with those assets will pay for their renewals forever. And we have a couple today that absolutely did that. So help me recognize our newest asset builders, the awesome Oscar and Candy.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
So I was like, they've had it for a little while, and I'm like, everyone like they were gonna come 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden I saw, I'm like, oh! I ran into the office. I'm like, I got this. So now I can go.
On purpose.
So, oh man,
Give me some baby energy.
right?
Baby energy.
So, what I wanted to chit chat about tonight is kind of an understanding of where we are, and my goal is, so we have a couple things that we've got to do, and I think that we are. Hey, Tony, what's happening? I think that we are further than halfway through the process of where it is that we want to be. One, there we go. No, that's not it. Whoa. Making it worse. Excuse me for just a moment. Excuse me while
Hey.
wires are so crazy. Shorts and all that stuff. Let's see. This one is not this one. There we go. Okay. So, it looks pretty. You'll get to know me. I hate wires. They drive me back. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to look at that. Two is at some point what we need to do is we need to get more people, because there's only so many back rows that we have. And so if we, like, if new people come in, they're like, I guess I gotta sit in the front, because you know, some places all the the front seats are, the front rows are good, but I guess our team's the cool kids in the back. So here's where we are. Look, I am like, you ever have that where you're just like, I am so freaking excited right now. It's crazy. But one of the things that we've got to do is, okay, if we haven't figured this out yet, how many think it's important that we grow? How many of us are kind of like, it'd be more fun if we had more people in this room? Any of you? How many go, it'd be more fun if I had some people on my team in this room? Okay, so let's kind of go through. It would be more fun if as a group, we had more people. right? But it'd be really more fun if I/you had more people. Is that fair? Okay. So, can we agree that this is a factual sentence, Cindy?
Yes.
Tony? You sure? You positive? You positive? Damon?
Yes.
Positive? Oscar? All right. Sue?
Oh, yeah.
Wade? Sears? Yeah. Okay. So we're all covered. All right. So then what we should probably do is figure out what we need to do in order to make that happen. Sounds like a fair assessment, doesn't it, Yumi? I mean, if there were, here are the 4 things that you and I need to do, and we spilled out those 4 things, and this was actually a real sentence, then we'd have the ample motivation we need to get more people in the room if we just had to do the 4 things. Is that fair? Now, if this isn't true, then are we going to do the 4 things? So again, we've got to ask ourselves, is this true? How many of you had other things you could do tonight rather than be here? How many think it'd be more fun potentially than what tonight is sitting in these chairs? Right? We all, it's okay. I feel like, look, you're all cute, but I could be hanging with my twins right now. Like, that's a lot of fun. Right? I could have a nice gin and tonic. There's a game on. I could be playing with the kids. Like, there's some. Is that sharing too much?
No.
Right? That like, y'all are nice, but that's way more fun. I got a cool rocking chair. It's comfy and padded. Right? We got 2 of them. I got one of the twins. I had a place for the gym. It's awesome. I'm here. So we said, okay, if we're going to be here, then let's make sure that this is. So what are those needs? So we're going to start with this. How many of us need to believe that this is a good thing? So how important is it that you believe that Primerica is a good thing? Scale 1 to 10. 10. Okay, so it's important to believe this. So here's a question. What do you believe? Scale 1 to 10. How much do you believe that this is a good thing? Any of you need paper? There's going to be some questions. We don't normally do things like this on a meeting. Got paper for y'all. So you got that? Okay. Is this making any sense? So I just want you to ask yourself, how much do you believe that Primerica is a good thing? Put a number down. It's a fair question, is not? Candy. Kind of cool, because not only did Oscar and Candy get a cool shirt today. Anything else going on? Oscar and Candy, right? Congratulations. 3 months, right? Little over 3 months, so I'm telling you. I talked to Oscar the other day, and he's like, we got to meet, right? And we're going to get to intensity and urgency here in a second. But it starts with, do you believe this is a good thing, right? So there's a number. Now, for this to be, so we're going to talk about this for a little bit, for this to be the best part-time opportunity in America, which is what we're building this to be. Look, if you ask me longer, what are we doing? We are building the best part-time opportunity. I do not believe that Primerica today is the best part-time opportunity in American business. Do you? What's important? What is vital for it to be a great part-time income? What is necessary for anything? If you're going to do anything part-time, what is the single most critical component to starting something part-time as an opportunity or job or anything like that? What is it? You make money. Is that not an incredibly critical component to a part-time opportunity? Now, in the traditional Primerica business, how many part-timers make a tremendous amount of good part-time money? Sue? A lot? Why? Well, you got to go talk to a bunch of people. You got to follow up. You got to do a variety of things that take a tremendous amount of time, right or wrong. So we're building. Did the chair right? Yeah, no, they're systematically being destroyed. So one of the things that we've got to do, Cindy, is if we're going to build a great part-time opportunity, we have to ask ourselves how many of us believe, to what level do we believe we could make $500 to $1,000 in April? Write your number down on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 or 100, 1 to 1,000, whatever number is, right? Do little symbols, whatever it is, no one's looking. For us to have the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, how much do we need to believe that we can show people how to make $500 to $1,000 a month part-time? Part-time. Like, how much do we need to believe that? 10. How much collectively? Wait, if you were to surmise the room, based on your experience and exposures and understanding, if 10 is the goal, where do you think the room collectively is?
6.5 maybe.
Okay. Cindy, did you make $1,000 last month? You make $1,000 last month? Richard make $1,000 last month? Tony make $1,000 last month? David make $1,000 last month?
Oh, okay.
Wade make $1,000 last month? Right? So you did. Right? Oscar Kid make $1,000 last month? No. Do we think part-timers make any money?
I was saying Sue was 6.5.
So Cindy, we have a problem, don't we? If we're going to build the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, how important is it that we have part-timers make money? Is it important? The problem is, do we all want more people here? Yeah. But if we don't believe it's a great part-time opportunity, are we going to get more people here? Do we see a problem? So what we've got to do is we've got to take this head on, and the goal tonight is for us to address this intellectually so that we can work like we need to fix this problem. Because why should you work if you don't believe that this is going to change? Why should we do any work? Richard, if you don't believe that people are going to come be a part of this, why? Why would people come be a part of it? If we're building the greatest part-time opportunity in the world, but no one's making any money part-time, why would anyone come be a part of a great part-time opportunity if no one's making any money part-time? And this is company-wide. If you want to have some fun, and I use the word fun loosely, pull up, every one of you can go on Primerica Online. Pull up the cash flow leaders bulletins for reps and districts and divisions and regional leaders in the state of California. In the country. Now, the old Primerica business is, as long as there's one couple making $8,000 part-time or below the level of RVP, then they can look at everyone else and say, if you just do what Bill and Jane does, then you can't. That's the Primerica leverage principle. But that's not real. What are we building, Richard? The greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, which means we need it to be real. Now, is this making sense? Some of you are like, Brett, I showed up here to be inspired. You're not inspiring me right this second. Well, that's why the meeting's not over. Okay, so let's take a step back. What would it take to make $500 to $1,000 in Primerica? Let's say I was a district leader. So let's talk for a little bit about what it would take. So a district leader is on a 50% life insurance contract. Does that make sense? So what does that mean? An $83 life sale is $1,000 a year in annualized premium. A 50% contract is $500. You're advanced 75% of that, so $375 advanced. $10,000 in a mutual fund at a 5.5% sales load is $550 sales charge. 80% of that is $480, and 30% of that is let's call it $185. Is that about right? Let's call it about $185. So if someone wrote an $83 life sale and picked up a $10,000 rollover on that one appointment, if they had all of their licenses, they would get paid $560.
So that's to inspire us to become district.
Well, we're going to get to, we'll cut it in half and we'll go through all sorts of stuff. But I just want to walk through from a practical process. Because we're going to talk about what's it take to get to district and what's it take to be able to do any of this stuff, right? But as a senior rep, the senior rep's on a 35% contract. Actually, this is 32%, so this is about $195. So as a senior rep, $1,000 at 35% is $350. 75% is $285 plus $185. So that's still $470 as a senior rep. And the only thing we got to do as senior rep is pick up 3 AAA'z and they don't got to do nothing. So we got the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, and we're creating something, the ability to tell our story and go through. We're not talking about overly aggressive goals at this point. But I got a question. Is 470 or 350 or 375 or 185, does this start to go, wait a second, out of 30 days, if 70 million families are stuck, should we be able to make an impact? Now, I'm watching some of your faces. The lack of belief, the lack of results starts to wade in to how we process this. If we look at this and don't believe that this is real, are we going to set any appointments? Why? Why try? Do we have a great part-time opportunity if this seems hard or impossible? So will we ever get more people here with us? So now we're spinning. No one will do it, so I'm going to not really try. So no one will do it, so I'm not really going to try. No one will do it, so I'm not going to try. And we spin that circle. Now, if we take a fresh look, Tony, when I show you this, does this look to you overly challenging or difficult out of 30 days? Damon, does this look overly challenging and difficult? No. So what's the difference between Tony and Damon and Yubi and Cindy? It's obvious. What's the difference?
They're newer?
Yeah, they're newer. Been here 2 months, been here a month, been here longer. Why does that make a difference? I have a question. And this is a very, very deliberate question. Have we tried to grow? Yubi, have we really tried to grow? You believe that?
Personally?
Yeah. Have we had the language? Have we built the lists?
You mean me grow? Or?
You. Us as a group.
Oh.
Us as a team. Sue, have we actively tried to be on a bunch of appointments?
No.
Have we actively tried to schedule appointments, go on appointments, create a bunch of momentum? No. Have we actively tried to recruit a bunch of people? Have we actively tried to get people licensed so that we can get them out in the field and go see their top 10? Okay. Cindy, have we actively tried to do this? Now, there's a difference between have I tried to set an appointment. So over the last couple of years, you've been cultivating, developing relationships, and you've been attempting to write business and grow because you're full-time and need to do this, right or wrong? Right. Is what you did over the last couple of years and what you're doing now the same thing? No. Okay. So if we now know exactly what we're doing, which is this piece of paper. All right, Cindy, what's the problem?
70 million families are stuck.
70 million families are stuck. Damon, what's the solution?
Access to financial education.
Tools that are wealthy and access to profitability.
Sue, what's the method, that the only method that this country has to be able to provide access to the 70 million families that are stuck? The strategic partnership. We have the problem. 70 million families are stuck. Cindy, out of every phone call you've made, did we have the language that 70 million families were stuck and such a clean and clear understanding of what we were doing? Did we? Was it that clean? If someone said, why are you doing Primerica? Was it easy for you to go because 70 million families are stuck?
That's the first thing I think of.
Okay, but over the last 2 years, is it cleaner today than it's ever been?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it's cleaner today than it's ever been, any phone call you and I tried to make 2 years ago, if it wasn't that clean, does the results we got from the phone call 2 years ago have any impact on the results we have today? Why?
Because we just have, it's more focused in, right? It's more focused now than it was back then.
But have we been able to reset our belief? Why is Tony and Damon look at this piece of paper and go like, dude, give me my license. This is going to be freaking awesome. Are you, wait, so you're telling me that if I can help 4 families, I can make $1,500 part-time? There's 30 days in a month? Tell me this isn't what you're thinking. I'm watching Tony's face and he's like, well, if I did one every other day, that's 15. That would pay me, like, is that not the math that you're doing? Damon, is that not the math that you're doing? This is a heavier meeting than I thought it would be. I was really hoping that people would be like, oh my God, I totally get it. But we hold on to where we come from. We have a dilemma. We need this to be the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. But we don't believe it's the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. But we have the tools to make it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. But because we haven't made it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, we can't make it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. And since we can't make it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, we're not making it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. Because we're not making it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, we can't make it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. And because we can't make it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, we're not making it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. And because we're not making it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world, Oscar, we can't make it the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world.
I can't read between the lines, Brett. Tell it to me straight.
If UB doesn't walk out of here and look at his list and go, oh my God, I got an opportunity where I could make a couple $1,000 and then I could solve the problem. UB, do you know anyone who needs to make an extra $700 a month and it would change their financial situation? How many people do you honestly know right now that you're like, God, if they made an extra $700 without totally upturning their life, that would make it better? Just on the top of your head, how many people? At least 9. Cindy? 15. How many people are in the room? How many new guests in the room? None. 9 and 15. And I'm not putting it on you guys. Trust me, this is not an attack on you guys by any stretch of the imagination. But if we don't believe that this is where they can make $700, are we ever going to talk to them about this is where they can make $700? If we don't believe that this is where they can make $700, are we ever going to talk to them about making $700? The problem is that we don't talk to them about making $700, no one's making $700. And when no one makes $700, we can't ever talk to them about making $700. This is the greatest place in the history of the world to make $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $500,000 a year. When you understand the math, it's ridiculous. I'm going to say something that I'm embarrassed about, but it's true. Not only that, I'm actually going to ask a question. Okay. We have not been focused on growth. My rolling 12, and then you guys, I tell you guys this honest stuff, right? I'm not proud of this, but it's true. My rolling 12 is about $150,000 a year. It used to be 450. It's 150 grand. Richard, I'm not proud of that. But that's a reality based on, now the good thing is I've put my head down for the last 4 years to build a business. That's not bad cover fire. Okay. I want to know, I used to run an $80,000 a month base shop. I averaged $72,000 a year for 6 years. So that's 900,000, and this is about $1 million, but $900,000 a year in premium. $83 a month times 12, $1,000, $80,000 base shop, 900,000. Does y'all make sense? My income in the last 12 months right around 150,000. I'm going to ask you what you think my base shop's rolling 12 life production has been. Cindy,
Zero.
no, we've done some premium. 0.
Competitive. Hey. Let's not get too truthful.
We've done some. David, what do you think? 900 grand was my average for 6 years.
450.
450. Richard.
$451.
350. Hubie. 300. Cindy. 0. Wait.
15.
$21,300. $21,300 in annual premium in the last 12 months. Do you want to understand the greatest opportunity in the history of the world? Mr. America's paid me $150,000 to build access. That's $1,850 a month. Base shop premium. I have a question. When we do this again, with this system, do you have any idea what that's going to be? I'm a competitive guy. This is coming back. The only way this comes back, though, Cindy, there's only one way this comes back. Wait, you know how this comes back?
Yep.
We figure out how to talk to these 9 people about the ability to make an extra $700, and then we actually show them how to make an extra $700. So serious, how do we do it? How many of us like to know exactly how to do this? Does that sound okay? So what happens is, we get new people through rookie camp. They pass their test, and they begin rookie camp. What's the goal of rookie camp?
10.
Okay. Why? Cindy, why?
Why do you need to get them out of the top 10?
Yeah. Candy, what this is when someone passes their test, we said, okay, they passed their test. Now what we need to do is we haven't actually been on any appointments, right? When we sat down, we went on the appointment you went on. By the time we were done and you saw the impact of what we did your belief in what we were creating, what Oscar the part of what we were doing, did that expand?
Yeah.
Did you start to see the fear and the doubt and the questions and then the ability to create a real solution and to create a safe place for the client? Yeah. Did that make you feel good?
Yeah.
Did the fact that we built assets, so now as soon as Oscar passes his test, we're going to have those assets waiting for you and you've got passive income, did that help incentivize him taking his test and being able to create this? All the meetings in the world couldn't replace those 4 hours, could they? We could talk about it all day long. Seeing it made a difference. True?
Yes.
That's our top 10. That's what we want. Now, what else do we want? We need to make this richer. What do we need to make this? Yubi, what do we got to make this business? Greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. If someone passed their test and we go see their top 10, how many of them, if they're macho, married, 22 to 62, got children, own a home and have a house and have a job, how many of them do you think are going to need a financial needs analysis, Cindy? A percentage, 60, 70, 80%. If we gather the F&A information and go back and deliver the F&A information, what's the likelihood of creating a client? Pretty good? When we go back and create a client, what does the new player create? Income. When we go back and see Lou and we help Lou, we're going to help him, aren't we? When we help him, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get paid. When we go back and see Lou, excuse me, this is going to happen. Does it make sense? When we go see your sister, what's going to happen? We're going to help your sister? She got a kid, got a plan, got to save, got to restart, got to do all that stuff, right? Is she going to need the financial game plan in the foundation? Does she trust you? Are we going to sit with her? When we sit with her, are we going to help her? When we help her, what are you going to get? You're going to get paid.
I'll take it if it doesn't want it.
Can we get over the fact that that's not a problem? Is anyone else going to show up and help him? So I have zero problem. Look, when I helped you, I got paid. You're going to get paid. I slept great. You know why? Because we're changing families' lives. Does this make sense? But now I have a question. If Damon goes out, and let's say we sit with 6 of his top 10, and we help 5 of them, and Damon, let's say Damon makes $2,000. Y'all with me? When one of those 6 asks Damon, what do you think about Primerica? To Damon, what is this? Does he have a full-time job? Is this a good part-time opportunity for Damon? Why? What was necessary to help create a great part-time opportunity for Damon? Income. So I have a question. If in the month of April, Oscar and Candy, we went on 3 appointments, and we helped 2 families, and you made $900. And Damon, we go on 5 appointments, and you make $2,000. And Richard, we see 2 families, and you make $1,100. And we see 5 families, and you make $800. And Cindy, we go on 3 appointments, and you make $390. And Tony, you pass your test, and we see 1 family, and you make $800. And Wade sees 2 families and makes $400. In May, when we ask this question, who think this is a good place to make $500 or $600? How many people would be able to raise their hand if in the month of April everyone made $400, $500, $600, $700, $800? So now, if we did that, maybe not at the end of 1 month, but let's just say for the next 6 months, every single month, we had a good group of people who did that. What's the likelihood at some point you turning to some of these 9 people that need to make an extra $700 and you're like, dude, we got to talk. Is this making any sense? See, right now, if Yubi goes, if I want them in my business because I override them, but none of us are making any money, so I can't talk to them about this, there's a conflict. The opportunity is designed to solve their problem and for you to benefit on the back end. Why? When you recruit them, do you make any money? When you turn, no. When you turn in their IBA, when Wendy turns in her IBA, no one makes any money. So does recruiting Wendy pay us anything? No. She's going to go through her hours and quizzes. Does anyone make any money until she's licensed? No. So what we've got to do is we've got to create a great part-time opportunity where we're talking about getting people licensed. But you understand that getting them licensed is the benefit for them to make this happen. Then we get the override. Is this too complicated? Because what I'm trying to do right now is I've been trying to appeal to some of our emotions for a little while, and I have not been getting through, so I'm trying to attack logic tonight.
Like a month.
Yeah.
You have to follow me, explain your problem.
Yeah. And go, look, I don't blame anyone in the room for not believing this is a great part-time opportunity. You know why? It's a shitty part-time opportunity today. It's horrible. This is the worst part-time opportunity in the history of America. Today. Now the good news is, none of y'all came to make part-time money. Y'all are entrepreneurs, man. So you went through, understand that there's a difference between Yubi and his 9 people. Yubi's an entrepreneur saying, look, I understand. I'm learning how to run a business. I'm carrying this down. I'm a part of this journey. When we sat down at McDonald's 2 years ago, I'm like, look, if you can come back. I remember having the conversation, buddy, we're tearing this down. You got 2 choices. Hang out over the next for as long as it takes or come back in 2 years because I will figure this out. Did we not have that conversation? We had it. I said, go. You got every right in the world. Go. And then I'll tell you when it's done. And he's like, no, I'm going to be a part of it. I'm like, all right. Does this make sense? But we're no longer creating this stuff. Oscar, we got the best part-time opportunity in the history of the world. We need some entrepreneurs that want to lead this thing. We need a group of people, Cindy, that can reset that belief and look at our list again and go, wait a second. If we actually had 15 people that could use an extra $700 a month, and Damon's going to make it in April, because I believe Damon will make over $700 in the month of April, his first month license. Part-time. But if our first guy licensed in the new system makes $700 part-time, and let's say Tony passes his test, and in May makes $800 or $900, and we get more people, doesn't this thing start to work? So here's my question, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Is this helping at all? Oscar and Candy, do you need me to find other examples for you to believe, or can you help me be the example? Yubi, Cindy, you've been amazing in this partnership with us. I'm asking you one more time to let go and believe. Yubi, do you need a room full of examples? Or can you help me be one of the examples? I can't solve this. I'm not part-time. You understand the question? We need examples. We need there to be somebody, a group of people that says, oh my gosh, I get it. I get that we can't create what we don't have if we hold on to what we have, because then we don't have what we don't have, and so we can't get what we want because we don't have what we have, and as long as we don't have what we have and we hold on to what we don't have, we can't ever get what we want. It's impossible. As long as you're convinced you've been trying, even though we're clearer today and we've got a completely different system and we've got the understanding of being able to do this, if we hold on to what we've done, we can't go create what now is time to create. We know what our problem. We know what the problem is. 70 million families are stuck. We know what the solution is. It's access. We know the only methodology that can ever provide the right access to this group of people is the strategic partnership model. It's it. If we're going to build a strategic partnership model, the key component's the distribution, because it allows us to talk to the people that are stuck. Which means we have to become experts at leveraging our partners and building our support system. In order to build our support system, we've got to get really good at the lineup, explaining the access gap, and understanding the 4 principles. If we gather up the fact that there's no market is everyone, competition is none, the need is vital, and the opportunity is unlimited. If we find the people who can see it, want it, run it, teach it, and leverage and take advantage of the tools, we can take it, we can make the focus happen, we can leverage the strategic partnerships to provide the access to the 70 million families that are stuck. This is all we do. The UB. Do I need a room full of leaders and examples, or can you help us? David, can you help us? Because I can't solve this. But you can. You can. We're exactly where we prayed we'd be. A couple years ago, we said, we can't wait to the point where we know what to do, we can explain what we're doing, and all we've got to do is go share it. Doesn't that describe where we are? Tim, can you discuss the 4 principles of the successful and the wealthy and the Main Street families and what the differences are? You know what they are, right? You can get into a conversation. You could discuss those, couldn't you? You can explain the lineup. If I said, hey, explain to me how this business is going to work, you could walk through the lineup, couldn't you? Tony, you're learning the power. If we're going to work, what's the single most important skill we got to learn early on?
Why?
Why? Can everybody in this room get why? Can everybody in this room write up their top 10 or their bullpen, their now list, or their then list? With that list, can we identify so that we can assess where everyone is? Can we develop a game plan that says, okay, here's how we're going to move them, here's how we're going to move them, here's how we're going to create it? Do we have the skills and resources to do that? Cindy, do you have the skills and resources to write up your lists? Do you have the skills and resources to identify and assess?
Yes.
Do you have the access to at least somebody that can help you identify how you add value in order to increase credibility to move them through the door? If you believe this was the greatest part-time opportunity and you wanted to help me build that and show that and prove that, would we be able to turn to this list and to be able to execute it with purpose? But if we don't believe this is a great part-time opportunity in the world, do we ever execute this? No, we haphazardly make phone calls. Sound familiar? I hope this isn't coming across. I'm not mad. Y'all look like you're in trouble. I'm not. This isn't a you're in trouble at all conversation. I'm fired up and excited. Why? Because this is where we prayed we'd be. Would you like to make $500 in the month of April?
Sure. Yes, I would.
You believe you could make $500 in primary in April? If I helped you? If you and I talked every day and we put a plan together, do you believe that I could help you do it?
Yes.
It took you a while until I gave it more clarification, huh? Yubi, could you make $500 in April? You want to?
Yeah.
You sure? You haven't wanted to before. You do?
Yeah.
Why? 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 Ask you, want to make $500 in April? Why?
Why not?
Well, there's lots of reasons why not. You got New baby coming, you're tired, your schedule's crazy, you're studying, you're working, right? Candy's working, she's driving, come home, gotta take care of her, all that stuff. There's a million reasons why not. Rich, you want to make $500 in April? Why?
I'm broke.
Okay. That's a pretty good solution. That's a pretty good answer. David, you want to make $500 in April? Why?
Just to do this part-time opportunity in recognition, I would be able to show what I can do to someone else and be able to do it.
How fun would this be if we get to be the leadership team that creates it, guys? We're at a special moment. This moment will never be here again. Ever. Cindy, it'll never be this moment again. You were here when the access gap was born. That moment will be locked in history forever. But you were here when the strategic partnership, when the circles came together. David wasn't here for that. I remember the AAA'z Night. It was a meeting. We pulled into the room. I remember the day I realized, holy shit, these are really smart people. I remember that you were here. We had that conversation on that wall in there. That was a special moment. Never to be created again. So when we were able to line up the lineup and draw it out, when we first did it on the like, when we could say, and you look at me and go, holy shit, that's what this is. See, those were special moments. Tony has no idea what we're talking about. But here's the thing. All of those moments are built for one part, one thing. All of them were created to do one thing. Does anyone know what that one thing is?
Get us here.
So that we can create the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. You know what you need to be able to create the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world? You need to be able to build allies, advocates, and associates so someone could stay part-time. You need to be able to have a lineup so someone can identify where they are so there's a place for everyone, a role for all of us. We need to be able to have a language where people can celebrate other people's successes as if they're their own. We need people to be able to lock in advances and not feel like they're starting over all the time so that there can be a premise of knowing that they're creating value. We need people to be able to grow assets in their life in licenses and skills and understanding so they can change something. We needed there to be a passive income stream where someone could keep licensed and never worry about it again. We need a place for our gaps and our part-timers want to get full-timers, not entrepreneurs. All of that was needed to be created through a strategic partnership and the language that we've got so that we can actually have a real part-time opportunity. How can you be part-time and have to service your clients? If you write 4 sales a month for the next year at the job, that's 48 clients, isn't it? You have to call, service, develop, all stuff. You got time to do that when you're at your job? You got the skill to do it? You got the training and inclination to do it? So what happens? Does it get done? No. Does that undermine your business? We have an entire back office company and a support system in place so that that's done. Why? So that we can build the greatest part-time opportunity in the history of the world. We shut everything down to build to right now. We are at a moment in time. Wade said a long time ago, he goes, we're either crazy or it's going to work. Said something else, but that's a different, right? We're either certifiable or this shit's going to work. It's going to work. Let's say, just suspend belief for a second, Cindy. Let's say it works. Is it going to work on a small scale? Is this a small scale business plan? No, we built a business, we built a language for the barista and the guy who runs 3 Starbucks. Because when you have a market that's everybody, competition that's none, a need that's vital, and a $3 billion venture capitalist who checks don't bounce, a back office support company and an entrepreneur opportunity, we can attract a lot of people. And we can retain a lot of people. My goal 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, Richard, is we're on an appointment and we get to tell somebody, man, the most amazing thing. We've got 1,911 people over the age of 60 that make more money passive income than Social Security pays. How fun of a sentence will that be? Then for you to be able to say, I got 21 people and our organization has 111 or 240 or 651. I don't care what the number is of people over the age of 60 that make more money than Social Security pays on passive income. How amazing of a sentence is that going to be? That's starting tonight. That's what that shirt is. Oscar's like, I'm not. That's what that shirt is. We're at a point right now where if we suspend belief for a moment and this thing works, we've got 250, 300 offices in the next 5 years. 9/11. Made a phone call. Do you know in the last 5 years, the biggest RVP team growth through seconds? So the RVP, an RVP they produce, and an RVP they produce in the last 5 years. Any guesses? What's a good number? 70 million families need help. We've got the largest financial services distribution company in the world. We produce more RVPs than anybody. We've got more people making more money than ever before. The number one growth in an organization in the last 5 years of RVPs through seconds.
Well, what measure? I don't understand.
How many RVPs? So let's say if you go RVP, you'd be 1. If you produced an RVP, that'd be 2 for our organization, up down through 2 generations.
So hierarchies growth.
Hierarchies growth
The most
in
in 5
RVPs.
years.
Yeah.
15.
17. I believe we could have 200. I believe we could have 200.
So that's like 7 in 5 years. I'd be doing like 7 firsts, and then they'd all have one. They'd all have one guy, or whatever.
Yeah. What if we do? Tony, what if you have 35? Cindy, what if you had 60? Scared you to go right there, huh? I just want 1 and 1. What if you accidentally got 60? Here's a question. Y'all are here. We've been through some lean years and we've been through not growing. I'm assuming $500 a month isn't your goal. I'm assuming that this is about ambitious as an entrepreneur. Is that a fair assessment? Why don't we go do it? We got the language, don't we? We got the support system, Cindy? We got the crusade, don't we? We've got the tools in place. We've got the passive income opportunities. We've got the recognition. We've got the reward. We've got the team access. We don't have a chant yet. We got to come up with one of those.
That's my chance. So.
Anyone want to help? Anyone want to be a part at that moment?
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm here.
So then what we've got to do is recognize that we're at that moment. Cindy, we're at that moment. We don't need to be any bigger than we can be. But if you made $511 in April, and Tony made $900, and Yubi made $700, and Richard made $1,100, and Wade made $900, and Damon made $4,000, or whatever the numbers are, and we did that month after month after month, at some point, wouldn't we start to believe that this is a great part-time opportunity? And Cindy, if you had these 15 people that you knew could use an extra $700 a month, and you actually believed that this was a great part-time opportunity that they could do without wrecking their life, without being committed all the time, without having to be hardcore and having to do all this other stuff, and you didn't measure all the things that you felt you needed to be over the last couple of years to create this, couldn't you turn to some of them and go, oh my God, I got to talk to you about this, and not feel like you're bothering them, but realize that you've got access to an opportunity that they desperately need? But until we get a group of people doing this, we ain't never doing this, are we? Because when you think about these people, you're not talking to them about this possibility, are we? Yubi, I can't do this alone. Richard, I can't do it alone. Well, you know I can't do it alone, Oscar. Can't. The good news is, I don't have to. Good. We've all made tremendous sacrifices. Some of us more than others. And we got to exactly where we wanted to be. We're exactly where we prayed we'd be. I prayed we'd been here a little sooner. Full disclosure, a little longer lag time than I'd anticipated. If you'd have told me how long the lag time was going to be and all the things, I'm not sure I'd have signed up from the very beginning. I'm not sure 5 years ago I don't make a different choice if you tell me all the adventures that we're going to go through. Fully honest, not sure. Grateful I didn't know. But now that we're here, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. And there's no one else I'd rather be in this room. This is what we're going to do over the next 60, 90, 120 days. You want to know what accomplishment is in 2015? It's for us to start to believe that this is a real part-time opportunity. And the only way that we can make sure that we believe this is a real part-time opportunity, Richard, you know what that way is? A couple people making some money. Any of you want to make some money? You guys got a baby coming. Extra diapers, they're not cheap. 27 cents. 27 cents a diaper. 27 cents. They found that out.
What's the 30?
Huh?
What's the 30?
89.
89.
27 cents a diaper. You start thinking about that when one baby poops, and then as soon as they're done, you clean them and they poop again. And you're like, are you really? The only difference is with two, the other one goes, oh, that sounds good. It does the exact same thing. 27 cents a diaper. They go through 10 a day. Let's make diaper money. Formula. Let's make formula money. Car payment. Let's make car payment money. Alaska. Let's make Alaska money.
Cool. Alaska.
Guys, this is the greatest part-time opportunity in American business. It really, really is. 70 million families are stuck. That's not a cool sentence. Yubi, the 9 people you said that could use an extra $700, what's the likelihood that they have a financial plan? What's the likelihood they have college funds? What's the likelihood they've locked in advances properly protected? 0% chance. They desperately need you. Are they all going to do the business? No, but they can't do it if we don't offer it to them. Is this about calling everyone? Oh, I got to come to. No. We need to figure out where these 9 are. So what's the skill UB's got to do? He's got to be able to get. Why? So you got to take these 9 people and figure out, are they hot? Are they warm? Are they lukewarm? Are they frozen? Let's figure out where they are. Now we've identified and assessed. Then we develop a game plan. All right, Sears, this one's hot. What do I say? We got to get them to the bullpen. This one's warm, right? That's a skill. Can you learn that skill? Wait, we just spent 30 minutes. Did we not single out and identify an absolute direct skill of the next place of where we are? That's all we're working on. So I know exactly where Wade's next skill adjustment is, and we spent the time talking about it. Are you better today than you were an hour ago?
Yep.
But it's not confusion, but it's a step. Can you do this? I've been talking to you about this for a year. Have I been able to get you to do it? Why do you want to make an extra $500? Selfishly, I'm looking for some people who want to be a part of this. I don't give a shit about the $500. Now, I wouldn't say that if there are 500 people in the room, I wouldn't say that. If there are a bunch of part-timers that wanted to make extra part-time money, I wouldn't say that. To a room full of entrepreneurs that have been through these times and understood what we're doing, I can give 2 shits about the $500. I want to find some people that want to help create this. I want to find some people that can look at their list and say, you know what, here's an opportunity to be the person that people are talking about. So, does that make any sense? So, guys, you're in this room. And I know, look, some of you are like, why do we have to have this conversation? 5 years from now, for somebody, this is the conversation. Maybe not you, and that's okay. But I was there. I remember when the access gap was created. I remember when the strategic partnership. I remember when allies, advocates. I remember when it was allies. It was advocates and allies, and it flipped from advocates to allies, advocates, and associates. I remember all of those moments, and they were all together for right now. So I want to thank you for being a part of it tonight. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm asking a handful of us to recognize the moment and say, let's go do something about it. And if you're not there right now, fantastic. Hang out for the next 6 months, because 6 months from now, we'll have the culture and you'll be able to take advantage of it. And there's nothing wrong with taking advantage of the culture that's created. But for any of you that want to be a part of creating it, getting why is an incredibly important component, and realizing that April starts to matter. We got to go tell our story to some folks. We got to be good at telling the story. That's the work we put in. So hopefully this made sense. Love y'all. Let's have some fun. If there's anything I can do, let me know. So love y'all. See, I really miss it. Team Access Unite. No. Go to bed.